Assalamu alaikum all. So today I am going to be talking about my relaxing language learning routine, which is all about reducing stress and tips on how I kind of created this routine. And this was kind of inspired by a video by Matt V Japan, who interviewed Ollie Richards, and he has this method called the story learning method, which I haven't sort of done myself, but I really like the stuff that I've read about it. He has this 10 rules of the story learning method, and he's kind of talking about them in that video. I'll have a link to that video in this description, but let's get into it. So for those that are new here on this channel, I share my journey learning languages as a Muslim. Now, the first thing I do to have a relaxing language learning routine is avoid memorizing long word lists and grammar lists. When you go to most books and things like that, they have these long lists of words and stuff that you have to remember. I find it like really boring and really kind of gets quite difficult as well. You just got like lists and lists of words that you got to remember, and yeah, just don't kind of enjoy it as well. So I just pretty much totally ignore it and just don't bother with doing that stuff. And what I do instead, which I've kind of spoken about loads of times, is sort of I'm watching Netflix and YouTube shows with subtitles in the target language. I find that is a really good way for me to learn, really fun. There's this new show out at the moment which is called Tour de France Unchanged, and you know, they speak a lot of French in that video, so I've got French subtitles on and I'm kind of watching that. It's quite fun watching that as well. So yeah, I'm really excited to continue watching that. Another thing as well to stay sort of relaxed, and this is what they talk about in the video, Matt V Japan and Ollie Richards, is just to trust the process. Like just doing things in a relaxing way, just kind of believe in yourself that, you know what, I will kind of pick the language up. It's just going to kind of get into my brain, not to kind of overthink it as well. So that's been a really good thing for me to sort of think about, just having this passive way of learning where I'm just kind of watching TV shows and things like that. I will kind of pick stuff up, you know, and just let time kind of do the work. Another thing I do to keep things relaxing is I kind of look up answers to questions quickly. So, you know, I've been using this Asimil book. Now things are getting a bit more complicated as I get kind of deeper and deeper into the material. And what got a bit stressful was, oh my God, some sentences I don't understand. There's quite a bit I don't understand. I used to kind of really struggle and try and look up the words and things like that. And now what I do is I kind of go to the answers a lot more quickly now and they kind of move on. It's quite important just to move on and keep kind of trying new stuff as well, not getting too bogged down on one or two questions. And yeah, definitely that's something, as I'm getting more and more into it, I'm definitely getting kind of more and more stuck. So I'm kind of going to the answers more quickly just to keep it a bit more relaxed for myself. And the next one is, yeah, don't learn grammar, just let it come naturally. So this is by reading and listening and things like that. So, you know, not forcing myself to learn all these complicated grammar rules and things like that. You know, again, it's just going back to trusting the process. Now, once I have seen something quite a few times, then I might kind of dig into it into a bit of detail. But generally, like, yeah, I try not to do that or really force myself. So I'm using a teacher at the moment on Preply, and you know, he's kind of explaining a few things to me, like how you ask questions in French. Like, you know, one phrase that I've learned is cet article est-il vegetarian? So is this item vegetarian? And est-il is like a way to ask a question. Is it sort of vegetarian? So like that's really been kind of, yeah, I've just kind of picked it up, but I didn't really actually learn that rule directly. It just sort of just came and just happened. And also another thing is, don't try to understand everything, just keep going. It's a really important habit to learn. Ollie Richards talks about that as well, is building this habit of just continuing even when you don't fully understand anything, or even when you don't understand all of it. Like, I think this works really well when you're watching TV programs. You can sort of figure things out just by watching it. So yeah, I think that's really good. And another thing is just to do a few minutes each day as well. So don't feel like I have to do a whole half an hour of language learning all the time. And just doing a little bit each day, I think definitely helps. And, you know, not being too hard on myself and thinking I need to do 1-2 hours and things like that. So yeah, definitely that kind of helps a lot as well. So yeah, just want to just share this out there, and if you've enjoyed this video, please smash that like button, as it really helps me in this YouTube algorithm. So assalamu alaikum, see you next time.